I'm so excited to present prompt columns in Dataverse, which recently released to public preview 2 weeks ago. So happy to see so many happy faces. If we haven't met yet, I'm Sophia. I'm a product manager intern on the Dataverse team, and I'm going to show you today how you can enrich your Dataverse tables using AI prompt columns. So just to give a little teaser, I've actually gone ahead and created an app already that captures customer feedback for, let's say, a sports equipment store. So you can see here that for every record, I have someone who submitted some sort of feedback. We have their street address, their zip code, and also some feedback about a jacket that they broke, or a jacket that they bought, or a soccer ball that broke. And what I want to do is to be able to organize my customers by state and also by sentiment to see if there are any regional trends that I should be aware of. So I've actually created two prompt columns, state and also sentiment. And if we go ahead and create a new record, let me just reload this. I'm going to create a new record and fill in exactly what customer information we would typically see. So let's say date submitted for today. Full name, let's say Kelly Hurst. Street address, if we go in and say Lincoln Street, zip code, believe this should be in Wisconsin. Submitted feedback. Let's say I absolutely love the new shoes that I bought, would buy again. So I have two prompt columns, state and sentiment, and let's see what happens when I click save. So it recognizes that the state is indeed Wisconsin, and also the sentiment of the review is positive. And now what I can do is directly tie this to a dashboard, and potentially I can see like how much positive feedback am I getting from my customers, and also how much of them are coming from specifically Wisconsin. Now, how was I able to do this? And that's where I'm going to be talking about AI prompt columns. So prompt columns is a specialized data type that we recently released. It allows you to find natural language prompts that are tied to other columns in your table. So in my case, what I just demonstrated is I define a natural language prompt to identify the sentiment or the state according to another column as input. So as you can tell, it's very highly contextual, which means that you can derive insightful data from existing data that's already in your table. Aside from that, it's also declarative. I mean, if you're familiar with defining flows using Power Automate, then you're probably familiar with using a lot of logic, defining a lot of if statements. But in this case, you can define the prompt once and then just execute it. And finally, the bread and butter of this is that whatever data or values that get generated using prompt column is immediately available for you to use, which means that I can tie this to a dashboard immediately. I can query, I can filter it. And that really is all in an effort to help you embed Gen AI directly into your tables to enrich your data so that we can help you serve more of your business use cases. So I'm going to do a little demo on how you can actually create a prompt column and use it in your applications. So as you can see, I'm in the Power Apps platform, and I've already created a table, but you can go ahead and create a new table. And it works best if you have if for a new table, because one of the limitations right now is that it won't generate values for previous records, but I'm going to show you how to kind of overcome that. So if we go ahead and create a new column, let's say I want to create a column to respond to the feedback. So I'll say feedback response. And then I'll select the data type as prompt. And then you can see that it shows add new prompt dialog here. I'm going to uncheck allow form fill assistance because at this moment it's not applicable. And you can see it'll open up the prompt builder dialog. So there's a lot of things going on here. You can change your model. It already has a pre-filled prompt for you, but I'm going to clear it so that I can write my own. And what I want to do is write personalized responses for according to the customer feedback. So I already have a prompt ready for us, and I want to directly refer to another column in my table so it has that kind of context. And in that case, I'm going to refer to my customer feedback column. And you can do this by clicking Add Content, or you can hit the right slash. So if I hit Add Content, let me just reload this. You can see that I've added customer feedback as my input. And you can see all my columns here. So I'm going to select customer feedback. And I've defined my prompt. I guess some tips for defining your prompt, just make sure that you're very specific. So you can say that, and you can see that I put, if the feedback is positive, please do these things. If the feedback is negative, please do these things. Make sure it's structured. So have kind of like a step-by-step on how you want the prompt to evaluate your input. And then also just make sure that it has the context as needed. In this case, I put the input. So I've created my prompt. I can actually go ahead and save it, but I just want to make sure it works properly. So in that case, once I save it, I want to test it against one of my existing values. So you can see from before, I had some values in here. So like from Jeremy Harold, let's say I want to test it against his values. So I'm going to click into my input, click into filter attribute, and essentially what I'm doing here is picking out one specific record to test my prompt against. I'm going to filter it by full name because that's easiest for me, and I'm going to use Jeremy Harold. And then let's test it. And what this will do is use Jeremy Harold's customer feedback and put it through this prompt to generate a result. So yes, it generated a personalized response to Jeremy's feedback. And now what I can do is, because this is now available directly in my table, maybe I can set up a workflow to automatically reply to his feedback. And you just want to confirm that you're using the right input by clicking on knowledge used. So you can see here, it is indeed Jeremy Harold. Okay, so now that we've defined our prompt, let's go back into our table. So at this moment, you can create up to 5 prompt columns, and also you can have multiple inputs. So maybe I didn't want only customer feedback. Maybe I wanted to put in their name as well, for example. In that case, I can add multiple inputs into my prompt by doing exactly what you saw before, which is add content. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and save my column now. So once I save my column, I should see it in my table. And because I've already added, oh, it's right here. Because I've already added several records, and also this is an existing table, I'm going to show you how we can update that. So I'm going to open the app. And if this is a new table for you, you want to create a new app. And I'm going to make sure that my form has that new prompt column that I created. So as you typically would, I'm going to just drag my new prompt column onto my form. And there it is. I'll save and publish it. And then I'm going to add it to my view so that I can make sure that I can see my prompt column values. So once this is done saving and publishing, we can head back into editing the view. So this is save and published now. So we're going to go into the view, and you can see that I have my prompt columns here, state and sentiment, but I also want to make sure that I have my new prompt column, which is feedback response. I'm going to save and publish that. And then now we're going to test it again with our new prompt column and by creating a new record. So let's quickly do that by creating a new record. We'll do new name. We'll do Sally. We'll do Sally Hansen. Street address. Let's do something. Well, we'll put a random address. And then we'll put, so this is some mock data. Submitted feedback, we'll put it as, I hate this shirt. Please let me return it. And so now I have 3 prompt columns here. I'm going to save that. And as you can see, it's identified that it's a negative, that the state is Michigan, and then it drafted an appropriate response saying that, oh, I acknowledge that you're unhappy with the shirt. So there you have it. Now we're able to utilize this data to make sure that to not only simplify our workflows, but also to enrich our data. And I just wanted to show a little tidbit of, as I mentioned before, one of the limitations is that for previous records, if you add a new prompt column, it won't populate right away. So how you might want to get around this is that prompt columns values get generated for new records and also updated records. So in this case, if I update one record, then I should have a feedback response. There you go. So that's what prompt columns is about, and we'd love for you to try it. I just want to make sure that we explore some of the use cases. So I showed customer support, like frequently, maybe answering frequently asked questions, generating some sort of a response to what you have in your tables. Content creation is also another powerful way you can use this. So if you have a table with a lot of different data and you want to create some sort of summary or you want to create a blog article on it, then prompt column is a really great way to kind of combine all of that data. We saw a little bit of data analysis, especially through sentiment analysis. It also works for classification. So if I wanted to, for example, classify every feedback by product category. This feedback refers to shirts. This feedback refers to pants. I can do that with prompt column. And then finally, if you want to tie it to other parts of the Power Platform, that's also possible by automatically setting up a workflow to maybe do some reporting, data entry, or scheduling. So there are a lot of diverse use cases you can use prompt column for, and we'd love for you to try it out. We have a few resources for you to get started. So as a starting point, do head on to our documentation, which can be found here. I have the link. And also on this should have everything you need to get started. We also recently released a blog article outlining prompt column, and it has a video walking you through exactly like how you want to approach creating a prompt column and also utilizing it. And then finally, we'd love to hear feedback from you. So if you've tried out this feature, go on to make.powerapps to start creating a prompt column, and then log your feedback under the Power Platform community forum so that we can get the feedback we want from you. And we'd love to hear about how you're using prompt column as well as how can we make it better for you. So that's it for prompt column, and I'll pass it over back to the organizers.